The Boating Adventure, Community Post, Channel Update, number 31. Welcome to the Cuddy of the Swamp Duck. Last Saturday, Steve and I were able to go to the Crick Boat Show, and we had a great time looking at some of the boats. There was one in particular that we went to see, and I have done a video about that, and that comes out in a couple of weeks' time. One of the great things was meeting some of the other YouTube vloggers. We met Joe and Michael from the YouTube channel Minimalist, and they're well-known boaters because over the last 2 or 3 years or so they were able to complete the whole of the Inland Waterways network on their narrowboat Perseverance. And during that time Joe produced a series of maps, and I was able to purchase one of her maps at the Crick Boat Show, and here it is. And so it is a map of the whole of the network, and the great thing is that you can colour it in as to where you've been. So I thought I would do that because it'll be a bit of an update of where I am in terms of visiting places on the Inland Waterways network. We can see where we've been to, and we can have a look at perhaps where we think we want to go in the future. So I've been through this map and I've coloured in the places that I've already visited and made videos about. So if we start in the middle here, because there is Long Eaton, Swarkston, so in between there, that's where the Swamp Duck was initially based, both at Shardlow and now of course as it's now based at Sawley. So this has been quite a central part of my journeys. So going along here, we're on the Upper Trent, and then this branch here is the Erewash Canal. So I have extensively been up and down there and vlogged it, both in the kayak and on the Swamp Duck. So there are plenty of videos about that whole area. And then going further on up the Trent, this is all the non-tidal Trent, we have taken the Swamp Duck as far as Newark. So that's all coloured in. There's one small piece here which is on the Fosdyke Canal, and that's where we took the kayak. So we've done that little bit there. And then back to the middle of the map here, we've extensively done this area, which takes us along the Trent and Mersy Canal to Fradley Junction, and then we've gone down to Fradley Junction and Fazeley Junction, and we've taken the Swamp Duck into the centre of Birmingham. So that's the Birmingham and Fazeley Canal. And then going back up to this junction at Fazeley, we've done this area, which is the Coventry Canal, and we've done that all the way down to here, and this is the Ashby Canal, where the Swamp Duck was based for a couple of years, about here. So there are lots of vlogs about the Ashby Canal. I'm sure there's an excess of 30 videos about that whole area. And whilst I was at the Ashby Canal, we also carried on the Coventry Canal, and then went on to the North Oxford Canal, which is just here, through Rugby, and then Braunston, and then carried on to round about here. So didn't go any further than that. Going back to the centre again, we've also been along here to Fradley and then a bit further, and the furthest we've been on the Swamp Duck is at Tixall Wide, which is on the Staffs and Worcester Canal. Now you can see up here there are a few bits coloured in. These are in a lighter green, so they're what we've done on the kayak. And I've done a couple of pieces of the Colden Canal, both that bit and the Leek branch. And then I've done some kayaking on the Peak Forest Canal to Bugsworth Basin. And then recently I've been doing quite a bit of this area of the Llangollen Canal. So there's Wrenbury, as we stayed at Wrenbury Wharf, and we did Whitchurch, which is a little bit further down here towards Wixall. So we've done that area there. That's all done on the kayak. Then back to the centre map again. We've been going down the River Soar quite a lot. I've done quite a few journeys down here to Loughborough, and then last year we did a trip down to Leicester, through Leicester to Foxton, and then we carried on and we took the Swamp Duck to Crick Marina. And then there's a little arm there, the Welford Arm, which I did a video on the kayak. So that's a slightly lighter green, although it's difficult to see. Now if I just move the camera down a bit, then right down here on the Grand Union Canal, there was a little bit of canal there at Rickmansworth, which we did on the Swamp Duckling. So it's quite a long time ago. I think that was Steve's first trip out on the Swamp Duckling. We did that there. And down here there's a little bit there that I kayaked on the Swamp Duckling. That's on the Kennet and Avon Canal, and it's just before Devizes, and it was just before you go up the Cane Hill flight. And then right over here in Wales we did some boating. We hired a boat and went on the Mon and Breck from the Brecon Basin. So we've done that. There is another canal which is not marked on this map, and that's further down, and that was the Bridgewater and Taunton Canal, which we did about half of it. We hired a boat and did half of that, but that's not on this map. I think it's too far down for them to actually get that on. So that just about covers the areas that we have done already. Actually, there's one more little piece of canal here in light green, so we kayaked that on Kenny the Kayak, and that was on the Middle Levels just outside Peterborough. We did a little bit there where we got stuck in a storm drain, I think. So we've done a little bit of the Middle Levels, but that's basically the extent of my travels on the inland waterways. We've obviously visited a lot of other sites round about. We've been to some of the museums and coastal regions as well for the channel, because it's not just about the inland waterways, as you know. But this gives me a good planning guide really as to where we perhaps would like to go and fill in some of the gaps. We've already got plans to fill this bit in here from Newark up to Torksey, and that's why I've done the VHF radio course, because that is the tidal Trent just there. And then we want to go across to Lincoln and down towards Boston, but we need a fair amount of time for that, and because of our hospital appointments at the moment we wouldn't be able to do it, so I've postponed that and tentatively put a date for the end of August and through to September. We hope to do that. We have already made some plans to do some activities during this little bit of time where it's difficult to take the swamp duck out for long periods of time, but we have already got some things in the pipeline, and they're not all to do with the inland waterways or the canals or indeed rivers. We have got some kayaking to do, and hopefully we can do that next week after I've had my MRI scan. We're going to go out towards Leek, and there's an area there that we want to do some kayaking. And then we've also booked some time to do some exploring on the east coast here, on the east coast of Yorkshire, and we've already got that booked, and fingers crossed that will go ahead, and we've got some coastal waters there to explore, so that'll be coming up. I have to be honest and say to you that I'm doing my level best at the moment to try and keep videos going, but depending on outcomes of MRI and other investigations, it could be that I'm going to fail and there could be some gaps in the videoing, so please I hope you'll bear with me on that, but I'll be doing my level best to try and keep things going. My next video will come out on Wednesday the 7th of June 2023, and that'll be at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's another of my remastered videos, and it happens to be a remastered video of the east coast of Yorkshire, so join me for that one. It's only a short video compared to some of my later ones, but I decided that there was some really nice footage on there that wasn't being presented in the best way, so I remastered that one. And then following on from that, my next video after that will be on Saturday morning, and that will be on Saturday the 10th of June 2023 at 8 AM, and that's a recent trip that I did along the Trent up to Nottingham. So if you join me at 8 AM on Saturday the 10th of June 2023 for that video. So I'd just like to say thank you very much for all your continued support, and do take care.